Welcome to this great adventure of two sisters.
Absolutely not. Hey guys, welcome to the Regina Kids podcast. I am your host Maxie,
With her lovely younger sister, Rita the H.A.M.
and here on the podcast, as you can see, sibling relationships can be loving and sometimes a bit
Dramatic.
affect me, please, complicated. So join us every week as we explore all aspects of having a sibling.
Come be our sibling.
Yeah, exactly. Welcome to a very special episode of the Regina Kids podcast. If you're new here, I am your host, Maxie.
I'm your host, Rita.
And drum roll, please.
It's our anniversary. Made for you and me. It's our anniversary. Made for you and me.
Oh, God. I didn't like it when Tony really sang that song. I really don't like it that you are singing this song.
I made it better.
Whatever. Anyway, it is our podcast anniversary. We
Woohoo!
we have been in this podcast world, well, me and her together for a whole year now. This is our first year podcasting as siblings. We really came together to do this podcast because um, one, it gave my siblings something to do other than bother me daily. But
Joke. Burn.
shut up, Rita. But truthfully, we talk every single day. And she felt like some of the conversations that we had been having, not only do we have hilarious, because something is wrong with her, conversation, but we were having and during my healing process, we were having conversations where I was expressing that growing up I felt a certain type of way. And, sometimes, and this is why you can't play victim to your own bullshit, because sometimes you be thinking that everyone around you when you grew up knew and understood what was going on. And they actually didn't. So that's how the podcast really formed, because it was like a light bulb clicked on for her that we really grew up in the same house. We got the same parents, and we might have went through these experiences together or not, or I was going through something and she didn't know, but we could have went through the same experiences together and had two different views on what we thought was going on. So in having that light bulb click on moment, we felt like it has to be other siblings out there who have sibling rivalry, who feel like maybe one was the favorite and one wasn't, or one somebody got treated better than the other somebody. Having all the responsibility put off on them because they were the older sibling.
Mm-hmm.
This new season, we're gonna try to bring on some of our friends and more of our family and have more guests and have more dialogue, because there are my friends, they a lot of them have become siblings because we've been in this thing for almost 30 years now.
And I just love them.
And it's hard to, you know, I hear a lot of people say, like, when you get older, I remember I used to work with this older lady, and she told me that, this is when I was in my 20s. She told me that, like, you gonna find out who your real friends are when you get in your 30s or your 40s.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been blessed that a handful of my friends, we've been rocking it out since we was in high school. Or one of my friends, we've been friends since we was in kindergarten.
Yeah,
So I got a handful of people that's been around forever. So we gonna bring them on and have some laughs and some jokes, and
because you know it's always a party up over here. Okay.
here she.
But even for me with like the friends that I have, you know, um, I've grown a lot over the years because my mama told me I ain't need no friends. Then I had sisters, so I eventually got some friends.
Eventually got some friends.
Yeah. But I mean, like growing up, I had some bad experiences, especially when it came to females, because with us braiding hair and stuff, and we consistently had like guys at our house. I went through the stage of where mul- multiple stages, if I think about it, to where a lot of girls would be my friend, and then they would. I felt like they were mainly my friends because of the people that they wanted to see the guy who what guys was gonna be at the house and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
So they
So
used you to get to the guys to get their
I had
hair braided.
major trust issues. But over the years, like I have my handful. I have my small handful of good girlfriend sisters.
Right. So this podcast was really to just, encourage siblings and, you know, people that you made family to have those conversations. We do touch on some serious things, even though Rita can't be serious majority of the time. But
I get there sometimes. I be there sometimes though. I get there, then I'm done.
right. And also to bring this podcast is also created to bring awareness to me being a self-published author and just wanting to help. Like I always say, like my first book was created to motivate and encourage because I wrote that book. Um, that was really beauty for my ashes. That was out of the pain of losing my dad and trying to motivate and encourage myself to get up every day and do better and try not to go crazy. So that's where all my broken crayon still color came from. And then I had no intentions on writing a second book, but what DJ Khaled say, God did. So that's where love, that's where love you more and grieving isn't
Look
easy and
at
healing
it.
hurt
And then
came from. That book was
I know
birthed
God,
from
God.
Rita.
Oh yes, he did.
That book was birthed from me just grieving my loved ones and really losing somebody that was really close to me. So
That book made you pause.
yeah, it was life changing. So that's where the healing box with that book comes from, which is now available for under $40 if you want to get the book. Love You More, Grieving Isn't Easy, and Healing Hurts, along with a healing box with, just some things that I felt, help me relax and to help me start my process of healing.
Some
All my
woosah.
books are available on Amazon. All My Broken Crayons Still Color, Love You More, Grieving Isn't Easy, and Healing Hurts. And this month, the trilogy, I Am Not Responsible for Your Tears, The Authentic Guide to Being Happy will be available on Amazon as well. So
And
you
if
could,
you want to see her live and in action, reading from her books, you can catch her July 1st, Saturday at what time, Matthew? 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
Oh yeah. And you can get a signed copy, a picture, and a signed copy of your healing box.
She just making up stuff. Nobody even agreed to that. But
Oh, you're
anyway,
doing. Oh, you're doing it.
any questions or comments, criticism, all can be sent as a sieve note and an email to reginakidspodcast@gmail.com. Or you can slide over there into our DMs at underscore Regina Kids Podcast on Instagram. So, happy anniversary, sibling. How are you feeling about the
Happy
podcast world?
anniversary. Podcast is cool. I get to express myself and have fun with my sister. Sound like a win-win to me. But
Sound like
also,
a
yes, a win-win.
also what?
Was that your question?
No, that was just be
Oh,
asking.
that's all I got to say then. No, it's been really dope. It's been a really fun experience.
Okay, elaborate.
It has. I mean, it's been dope. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a fun experience. We get to do what we do every day anyway, live and in living color. Instead is on instead of it being on FaceTime, it's recorded so you can listen back and then text me about what I done said, and then we laugh again.
Right. Because she definitely, if y'all been listening over the episodes, she takes shit too far. She really does.
I've only took stuff too far on one episode so far this season.
Yeah, but what they have to do with all the other 50 episodes? She takes
I
shit
said
too
this
far.
season so far.
Right.
Ain't got nothing to do. I ain't talking about the past. We talking about this season so far.
She takes stuff too far. Um,
I
no,
can't help
my
it. That's just the way my mind works.
no, my question for you is, what have you enjoyed the most about podcasting?
What have I enjoyed the most? Um, I would say there's a bit of therapy to it. Um, I'm just talking about our show in general. You know what I'm saying? Um, there's a bit of therapy to it because I feel like I've learned more about you that I didn't know. So that has been,
Really?
yeah, that has been a blessing because I mean it. And I know, like, especially like for season one, because just really cracking open, certain situations and um understanding and hearing your experience and then going back and thinking about it, and then it kind of just put everything into perspective. You know what I'm saying, about that time, or what emotion that I might have felt in reference to that situation, or if it was something that happened to where I was just like, dang, why Maxie feel like, why is she acting like this? And then understand, going through the situation, seeing your mindset is, it makes a lot of sense, and I think it like brought us closer together, even though we were already real close, but we can get closer.
No, no, that's okay. I don't want to get closer. I think. Um,
What?
I think we kind of was doing trial and error in the beginning because you were cutting me off a lot, and it was kind of, I don't know, the first, I guess, first season episodes that we calling it, they was rough. Like this, these 2 years been rough for me. Period. So
Uh-huh.
I've been over emotional. I done cried and argued with you on here. It's just been a lot this this podcast year. Um,
Agree to
I,
disagree, it happens. That's
I
real siblings. Yeah, you gotta some on. Well, a lot of things you have a completely different opinion.
exactly.
That I do.
I do agree that it's been therapeutic, but I also feel like these 2 years with writing these with these two books that well these next couple of books. I feel like I'm just putting all of my business in the streets, which is a lot for me to do.
It
Because
is
I'm more of
behind this.
a low key private person. So for me to get emotional
Mhm.
publicly or to express those feelings out in words as I did, I'm telling you, if y'all for the people who have got in my second book and read it,
It
I
should be.
felt like that was emotional, but this next book, I don't know. I don't know. I don't really know how people gonna take that.
I have like I have. I think the only thing that I've heard so far in reference to this the third book is like some of the actually is them parts even gonna be in your book, or was that just for? Is that just for the up and coming? That's just for the up and coming. No, some of it's gonna be in the book, right? The
What?
the stuff that you read to me that you doing at the event on the 1st of July.
That's in the book. All
Oh,
of that's in those books.
okay, okay. So, um, just the snippets that I've heard you read to me, I need some popcorn.
You need some popcorn.
Yeah, you need to make sure to get your healing box. Um, Nah, does the teacup come in the healing box?
Not in the small one.
Okay, get you a big healing box. Cause baby, you gonna be sipping some tea. It's how I feel about this next book. You know what I mean? Like,
I
who
mean,
chat?
just some background. Like, this is Risa's first time being in like a podcast space. Like,
No,
I've
it's
been.
not.
Yes, it is. Not a
A
show.
podcast. Oh, that's the difference.
Yes,
It
it's a
feels the
difference.
same. Oh, okay. Oh, you know what? No, you right because I had to be serious the whole entire time, and that was really really hard. That's probably why it didn't make it.
If she let
Because
me
it was only a
finish,
few. It was only a few of the guests that we had that I really cared about, and the other part I had to like fake it. No, I didn't.
okay. So, um, I started out at an actual radio station as a producer,
She did.
uh, producing the Radical Radio Show. It was actually a radio show, which is now turned podcast due to the pandemic. We went from an actual radio station to online because of the pandemic. So
Hmm.
when the pandemic happened, then I kind of got catapulted into doing other shows. So Rita had her own show called Hey Girl Hey, which you could probably still find on Facebook, I
No,
believe.
mine was before COVID.
No, it was not.
It wasn't. Oh, okay, you right.
No, it was not.
Don't go by
Let
my
me
memory. Shit.
right. So she had her own show, and like she said, she was interviewing people for Black Business Besties and that kind of stuff when we first started
Now
our
don't now, now
business.
don't get it twisted. I was a fire host, but having to be serious that long, whoo, child, that was rough. Not for me. On here, I could just be myself, say what I want.
So that catapulted me into producing multiple shows and stuff like that for YouTube and all of that. And I was taking in the process of turning the Radical Radio Show into the Radical Radio Podcast, which can be found on Apple, Spotify, hosted by Coach L, the Radical Chick herself. Y'all can get in tune with that. They
Oh yeah,
definitely got. They're definitely
or
doing this a series right now of Kingdom Chicks Reconstructed. It's kind of like a panel show with four Kingdom chicks on there talking about different life stuff. Um, Definitely getting you some kind of spiritual healing, talking about God. So
Amen.
if that's your thing, jump over there and listen to them.
Or you
But
can go on her website and get her radical shades.
um, I think that this show, like she said, let her be herself because she was kind of stiff on her other show because people wasn't as spicy to her when she was doing her interviews. So
They were spicy. It was just serious all the time. Yeah, quench your booty cheeks together, serious, tight. Can't,
Rita,
can't
see,
be
see,
loose.
she wasn't doing. You know what? I can't. She wasn't doing all of this on that show. I don't know why she chooses to be on here
Cause I just
showing out.
be myself. That's what I do. I show up and show out, girl. You ain't know. You
But
know. You get it
yeah,
every day.
but I think this season when we're together, we're gonna do shows together. So um, she's really like looking forward to like sitting next to me and recording a show. That's like her. I don't know.
We'll be touching shoulders.
Oh God.
It's
I don't know why
gonna be so much fun.
that's like her number one thing to do right now. But yeah, we got a lot of different um things in store for the podcast coming up for the new year. Our new year.
New yeah.
We still in the Jordan year, so everybody shooting 100% of all their shots, and you know, hopefully you make some.
Hmm. I'll take a shot right now.
What? Just randomness all the time.
That's
But
because I live in the tropical. I live in it's hot
I feel
outside.
like the podcast is doing well. We gonna still keep striving for perfection in my eyes, even though nothing is perfect. We
I
had
think
our
it's I think it's perfect right now for what it needs to be, and then wherever it's gonna go, and that's gonna be perfect too.
well, thanks for the optimism, Rita.
Oh yeah.
What is your question for me?
My question for you, Maxette Eleonora, is
See, she take it too far all the time.
with us having this podcast, how do you feel? What do you feel in our relationship as siblings have gotten better, and what do you feel has gotten worse?
Um, Worse. Um, I'm still doing all the work. That's the worst part. Better. Um, I don't know. 'Cause now I have to talk to you more, so I don't know if that's better.
That sounds sounds
or,
stressful.
or worse. Uh,
I do work. Wait a minute.
I don't know. Is
I
this
do
a
work.
trick?
I
Is
do
this a
work.
trick question?
That's so rude. I do work.
Oh man.
You the producer. What you want me to do? The hell? I post about our shows on our social accounts.
That's the least you could do.
I'm
I
not
feel
the producer.
I feel like um because just like I think that people believe that like
We need to hire an assistant.
no, not right now. You won't unless you paying. Um because I'm trying to hire a housekeeper. I can't allocate funds to no assistant. But
Priorities.
priorities. Yeah. that's on the top of my
You say I do all the work. Okay, you're a producer, so what do you want me to do?
so yeah,
I
but
don't think that your cons are valid.
probably not. Um,
Oh, and I'm not the serious.
you said priorities, bro. Like I'm not allocating funds to no assistant when I when I prefer to have a housekeeper.
Right?
Um,
Yeah, just
what did you say?
nothing. Go ahead. Keep going with your BS ass.
Oh man.
I do
Um,
all the work. You're the producer. Like what the hell? Anywho.
what was the question again? No, seriously. I feel like people believe that the only relationships that take work are like significant others. Like when you have a mate, you have to constantly work at that. But
Mm,
just like any relationship, a friendship, a sistership, a family ship, any of the ships, like
shippity
those
ship.
those relationships need to be worked at daily too. Like you can't expect to be you and your sibling to be like besties or to be best friends if y'all don't continuously daily work at those relationships. So I
Right,
feel
because
like
that's true.
the podcast gives us um, weekly reminders of working at our relationships, the way that we communicate with each other, the way that we prioritize time to do stuff. Because let's be honest, like a lot of people start podcasts and they don't make it past the 10th episode.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I see tons of people start podcasts, whether it's on podcast apps or podcasts through like social media, like doing it weekly on Instagram
Yeah.
or Facebook, and they can only get a couple weeks in, and then they lose the momentum. Life be life, and then they don't continue. And you could just see that just by looking at the app. Like you'll see people who haven't updated since like 2021. So it's but I see people that's winning in the podcast realm because they're consistent. Like
Mm,
everybody knows that other people have stuff to do. You have a life. I have a life. I have a lot of stuff going on all the time with, the daily tasks that I have with still being in corporate America and, taking care of family members on an everyday basis and stuff like that. But we have to make a conscious decision to be in it and keep working at it. And
ex-
if it's something that we truly believe in, to consistently um, keep putting these podcasts out here. And ours is on. Some people got our podcast 2 hours, and we just committing to 30 minutes. So it's a lot to just do 30, 45 minutes.
mm-hmm. It is.
But
Especially like, I'm gonna let some of my privacy. Well, I don't have a problem with that. I probably tell too much of my business. Um, but we're on two completely different work schedules. Like I work nights. I work from 8:30 at night to 4 in the morning, and then you work from 6. You work 6 now, right?
no, 7.
Oh, 7. You work 7 to 3 or 7 to 4, whatever. So it's just like, having that balance, and then I have an at home life, and working overtime because we trying to be saving up for this his house. You know what I'm saying? So it's it's just you just have a lot that's going on, and then also I'm trying to, keep my eyeball going. So self care is the best care.
True, but a lot of times self care get pushed to the back burner when it's a lot of things going on. But
Mm.
to just give you your flowers, I appreciate you sticking it out this whole year doing the podcast. I was already, I still got other shows that I produce and stuff like that. So just to for you to, with everything that you do got going on, to want to be consistent, to show up every week, to put this out into the hair, to try out into the air, to try to help other siblings like
Yeah,
ourselves. It's
not
it's a beautiful thing.
it is, but and then too, not, but also it's fun. You know what I'm saying? So, when you doing something that not only is helping other people, it's helping you, it's helping yourself as well, self growth. Because a lot of times when you just deep depending on the subject and conversation, I know for me, I had to actually think back and like look at that experience and then like damn, pat myself on the back or pat you on the back because we've came a long way. And then sometimes I'll take that and then meditate on it and think about it and look at it and be like, you know what, in this avenue, I can do better. Like I could be an even more better sister. I could be an even more better daughter. I could be an even more better partner. You know what I'm saying? For my better half. My boyfriend. So it's been a great experience, and overall it's fun, and I can just be myself. So either you
That's
love me or you're not. In either way, I love you anyway, and I don't care.
so it's still our anniversary. Happy anniversary to the Regina Kids podcast on 1 year of
Woo woo!
podcasting. What is your sib note?
Consistency is everything. And figure out your way. Like she said, in our first year, it was, we was faking it until we made it, but we made it work, and we figured out our rhythm. And you can get into something and you may not know exactly the full plan, or even sometimes you may have a plan, and it's okay if you have to erase that erase the board and reformulate.
Facts. We still trying to perfect our podcasting, come up with more exciting new topics to talk about. Nothing over here is pre-scripted.
At
We
all.
really, we really just brainstorm topics. We think about them, figure out questions, and then we tell it from our truth. That's why we tell a lot of stories on here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we appreciate y'all for listening, coming through this podcast journey with us, this little life journey that we're going through, because I'm sure it's a whole lot of other stuff that's going to be happening and taking place during this time. Because again, we're in graduation season over here. Um, yeah, so we're going to be doing that. We're going to be doing, recaps of our travels and events and stuff like that that's going on. It was never my intent to be an author, but we here now, so
I'm
I'm
not
on
surprised.
I'm on my road to my journey is becoming a New York Times bestseller. So I don't know how many books I'm gonna have to sell or to put out in order to get there, but it's from my mouth to God's ears. My sib note for today is going to be, if you're gonna dream, you might as well dream big.
Sky's the limit, then you can go to outer space.
Whatever. And as always, thank you guys for joining us for another episode of the Regina Kids podcast.
Happy anniversary.
And we'll continue to glow through whatever it
Whatever it
is
is we're going through,
going
it's
through.
my line. That's my line. Lucky.
Just say bye already.
I put my face in the camera. Bye, guys.